done.
We didn't pick it up because it was muted. Could you say that again?
Okay. Meeting is called to order, January 4th, 2017.
Deputy Mayor?
Deputy Mayor Chuck Lowry sitting in for Mayor Jim Wood, who's out sick today.
Take a roll call.
Roll call.
Deputy Mayor Lowry?
Here.
Councilmember Feller? Councilmember Curran?
Here.
Now we're the council majority. We have a quorum. That's great. Thank you. Ready for me? Ready?
Okay, we're going to meet in closed session to discuss item 1 on the closed session agenda, the conference with labor negotiator involving the Oceanside Police Officers Association. That is all.
Instead of coming here and sharing it with us, which is a good thing, I suppose. And Clerk Beck?
Yeah. Roll call.
Yes, please.
Deputy Mayor Lowry?
Here.
Councilmember Sanchez? Here. Councilmember Curran?
Here.
Councilmember Feller?
Let's start with the consent calendar. Yep. Consent calendar. We've got
consent calendar items 2 through 11.
Move approval.
Second.
No public on these items.
Thank you. Please vote. Big yes.
Deputy Mayor Lowry? Thank you. Motion approved 4-0.
Number 12.
Item 12, amendment to professional services agreement.
Yes. Item number 12 is approval of Amendment 1 in the amount of $996,826 to the professional services agreement with Rosaling Nakamura Terada Architects for a revised contract amount of $1,547,244 for final design and engineering for the El Corazon Aquatic Center project, approval of a budget appropriation in the amount of $625,000 from the Park Development Fund to cover the cost of the amendment and contingencies, and authorization for the city manager to execute the amendment. Report by Nathan Mertz.
Peter either come down or Peter go get him. You want to text him?
Honorable Deputy Mayor and council members, what Zach just said pretty much covers what we're looking to do. If you recall, at your last council meeting, you approved the entitlements for the Aquatic Center and Senior Center expansion. What this does is authorize staff to execute a contract to start and complete the final designs, which will then be the basis for, at some future point, to identify funding and go to construction. Unless you want to see the PowerPoint.
Any?
No public on this item.
Move approval.
Second.
Esther, did you want to speak? Your light was on. Thank you.
Motion approved 4-0.
Good job, Nathan.
Thank you. Item 13, federal aid funding for Douglas Drive Bridge.
Yes, item number 13 is federal aid funds for the Douglas Drive Bridge over San Luis Rey River, Douglas Bridge Seismic Retrofit Project, approval of professional service agreement with TYLIN International of San Diego in an amount not to exceed $4,222,350, with payments phased throughout a 7-year period of seismic retrofit strategy, environmental documents and permits, design and construction plans and specifications for the Douglas Bridge Seismic Retrofit Project, and authorization for the city manager to execute the agreement.
David, welcome.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, council members. David Toshak, Senior Civil Engineer, Development Service Department. So yes, we're coming to you today to seek approval of federal funds and approval of professional service agreement for TYLIN International out of San Diego. Plan on retrofitting the Douglas Drive Bridge, which carries Douglas Drive over San Luis Rey River. Not to exceed amount $4,225,000 or $222,350, 7 years. The project is broken into phases, for seismic strategy report. It's one of the first things that Caltrans requires before we move forward with the project. Environmental documents, terminations, permitting, design, and then the final design and going into construction with the plans. The bridge is built in 1965. It's what they consider constructionally reinforced on T-beams, which basically takes 14 supports across the entire width of the structure. On a side note, compared to a recent bridge of ours, Pacific Street, the Dam Bassett Bridge carries the same length of structure, about 650 feet, in only 3 supports because it's a reinforced concrete. It's a post-tension structure, which allows for much longer spans. So basically the need for the seismic retrofit, and that's just basically larger foundations, things of that nature on the structure, was identified by Caltrans in accordance with the mandated bridge program, a federally mandated bridge inspection program. So basically Caltrans also manages funding programs, including the local bridge seismic safety program. Part of that program, the city received $180,000. 80% of it was federal money, 20% of it was state money. And from that money, in 1997, resulted in a 2011 report that basically identified separating the 2 structures. It wasn't a good idea to move forward with 2 structures in one project, so we split the 2 projects with the federal permission. And right now, basically, Coast Highway is the other structure moving forward under a separate contract with Moffitt Nickel. Again, this being for TOI Lynn contract, will take its own path and be evaluated for seismic retrofit or possible replacement. We evaluate which is best, which is most economical to move forward with. In addition to the seismic retrofit, the need for bringing the bridge up to seismic capacities, Douglas Drive at this segment is also an unacceptable level of service. So calling for circulation calls for 6 lanes. So we're actually going to spend some money and look at designing a 6-lane structure. If we start building the structure in 7 to 8 years, we may need 6 lanes at that time. So we might as well build a bridge to the full capacity. With that, we might have to spend some of our own money because, again, the bridge program is specific for a retrofit. They're not going to look at capacity increasing. So if we want to spend the money, now would be a good time to do it if we're in the river. Right now, our master agreement and supplemental agreements for both these specific projects has been authorized, so we have the money available. We followed the Caltrans procedures in their local season manual for the selection of the consultants. We go through selection committee, and RFP and RFQ, so we do both before we select the consultant. We've created the contract, the PSA, with 3 phases of work, so we break it down so we can basically move forward as the funds are made available, whether it's an initial phase 1, which we'll move forward with your approval, we'll move forward with phase 1, which will last about a year. That phase being the seismic retrofit evaluation, followed by preliminary engineering, environmental. Once we know what type of structure we're going to move forward with, then we'll start looking at, again, the permitting process and the environmental process. And then the 3rd phase will be the design of the structure. Given that the project is federally funded, we've included clauses within the contract, which allows for the approval of the contract before all the funds are available. We only have a certain amount of funds, but for the entire $4 million, that's over a 7-year period, so we, of course, don't want to budget all the money up front. So the second part of the clause inside there, we mentioned the fact that it's based on available funds. If we don't have the money, we can terminate the contract. So that's another clause. We have the right to modify or terminate the contract based on available funds. It's fairly competitive. Another side note, the state receives about $300 million in federal funds. Last year, there was demand for about $550 million of projects. So basically what happens is Caltrans themselves, through surveys that we fill out and apply for, rank the need for the structures. And so we see different rankings, and they, again, a lot of projects in construction get the funds available first, so that's the direction we're heading. So again, $4 million, reimbursable eligible costs at 88.53% reimbursement ratio, so the city is responsible for 11.4% to match that. We're using our transit money to pay for that difference, and that'll be budgeted as we go through the years. Right now, the available funds that have been authorized, we have $423,000 roughly, and then we have a city match of about $438,000 in Transnet. So that's about $800,000, and that should be sufficient funds to pay for this first phase of work, which, as previously mentioned, has about a duration of about a year. All the future phases, again, as we apply for federal money and as we obtain that money, we'll budget for it. If there's an additional action based on Caltrans approval of money, we might have to come to you mid-year and ask for appropriation. But again, our timing and asking for the funding is going to be based on when we get authorization from Caltrans. So that concludes my presentation, and we recommend the approval of the PSA. Thank you.
Thank you.
There's no
Okay.
public on this item.
No problem.
Thank you.
Jerry,
Oh, sorry.
Well, go ahead, it doesn't matter to me, I just have a couple of questions, if you want to make a comment. go.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that staff is bringing this up so early so that, so that we can request funding and hopefully have it in place by the time all the studies are done. So I'm going to go ahead and move approval.
I'm going to second, but I have a couple of questions. First of all, why the 7 years? That's not set in stone, because it sounds like we have to wait for money and funds available. So this may be on 7 years. Are we under a deadline for seismic retrofit within a certain period of time?
To answer your question, there is a deadline. Most of the federal projects, they allow for a 10-year period, which is one of the reasons why we went back and from 1997 was when the original expiration was. So we actually had only until 2007. So when we went back and separated the two projects, that gave us an extra 10 years to pursue these two projects separately, Coast Highway and Douglas. So there is a window of closure, which is 10 years from the date of the approval of the contract, or the award of the funding. And this 7 years allows for that, but it's also based on the consultant's recommendations on how to get through the process. And we have constraints too. Caltrans basically said, you really can't start your environmental process until we have a new strategy report. So they want to make sure that the money is well spent, that we're not getting a new bridge for capacity increases when all the program funds is seismic retrofit. So they want to make sure that the way, another process we have to go through is once the consultant comes up with a design strategy, we have to take that up to Caltrans and headquarters in Sacramento, and it gets basically evaluated by their panel and says whether it's a viable approach to what we want to do. So it's a long, drawn-out process to get first to the strategy report, then the environmental process. Currently, the NEPA requirements, we have both NEPA and CEQA requirements. Since there's federal funding, $1 spent of federal money requires the NEPA process. They're expecting an exemption in this case, but they're doing all the studies that need to be done. And then we can use those studies to build our CEQA document too. So we're looking at probably just 2 years to get through the CEQA and NEPA process, and then we'll go into design.
Well, then it brings me to another question. When do we have to make the decision on expansion, to the 6 lanes? And if we do, will that trigger a whole new environmental process or a amended environmental document or somehow?
Initial feedback from our consultant, and we've had a lot of conversation before we actually went under contract because we're negotiating price before we could propose a price, is that their initial discussions with Caltrans was that whether it's 6 lane or 4 lanes, based on the layout of the structure, that we probably get exemption for both. So that may not be the same as the secret document. We'll have to make that determination. But we should be able to come with that determination within the first 2-3 years. Again, if we're talking about a difference of 4 lanes to 6 lanes, it could be about $3 million out of our project to get to the 6 lanes. The feds will pay for, again, 80% or 88% of that initial $13 million estimate. But if we go to 6 lanes, it might be as much as a $16 million structure.
Okay. And then you said there was a ranking process. What's that based on?
I've attended some of the training at Caltrans. We do an annual bridge survey. So we fill out the information. We fill out when we expect to spend the money. We send that to Caltrans. And their rating is basically A1 through A5 and then B, C, and D. Their priority projects are construction. So any project that's in construction basically gets the funds so you don't hold construction up because it's costly. Otherwise, seismic retrofits are high on the list. I believe Coast Highway has an A rating of about A5. It's not in construction, but it has a high rating. Douglas is a little less because another determination they use is called a structural deficiency number, where Coast Highway has a very low number. Douglas is fairly a reasonable number, but it still needs to be evaluated because seismic criteria changed in 2006. So there was a design in 2004. We had a design, but it didn't meet current criteria, so we had to go back and reevaluate that. And now, again, what Caltrans is asking us to, again, reproduce a strategy report that identifies retrofit versus replacement, things of that nature.
All right. Thank you.
No one else?
No other council members. You can vote if you like.
Let's vote. Thank you.
Motion approved, 4-0.
Oh, council reports.
Deputy Mayor Lowry.
Oh, okay. Well, I attended the menorah lighting along with Councilmember Sanchez. That was here in the plaza area. That was on, what day was that? 26th, day after Christmas? Yeah. There were a lot of people in attendance at that event. And Saturday, January 21st at 6 p.m. at the Sunshine Brooks Theater, the Public Library, the North County African American Women's Association, and the North County chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority is presenting a multimedia concert with Langston Hughes Kaleidoscope. It's called Ask Your Mama, 12 Moods for Jazz. And there's a lot of detail on it. Just go to the city website and look for the library section on that. And the library here at the Civic Center is now open, so come and take a look. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Councilmember Fellow.
Thank you. Attended an Eagle Scout Court of Honor for Caleb McMahon and Garrett Peters. Two more of the best for young people, and it's very inspiring to go see what they've done. Had to miss the menorah lighting, but I did make an apology to Rabbi Greenberg. We're beginning of opening gym is Friday nights at Melba Bishop Rec Center. Open gym basketball. Senior citizen dance is this week on the 8th, and it's 2 to 4. Let's see, I think we can all go. We're all old enough, except maybe the attorney and the city manager who
Did you
can't
check
go.
IDs?
We have council workshop for interviews for treasurer, so if people are interested in treasurer position, they need to get their information in by Friday. And on the 16th, Martin Luther King prayer breakfast is at Maricosta Dining Hall, and there is probably still a few seats available at this point. And we're continuing on with the number of birthdays. We've got 6 behind us, only 4 to go. So, thanks.
Councilmember Kern.
Thank you. They talked about fishermen's. I was actually gone for the last couple of weeks out of state, so I didn't attend anything except where I was. It was -10 at night, so it was a little chilly, but I survived.
Councilmember Sanchez.
Thank you. I just wanted to add a little bit more to Councilmember Feller's report on the open gym nights at Melba Bishop Park. This is starting this Friday and every Friday, and from 6 to 8, and it'll cost $1 per student. And you please bring your school ID. Saturday nights will feature free family open gym starting this Saturday, January 7th, from 6 to 8, and free teen open gym from 8 to 10. And for more information, please, you can visit oceansiderec.com, oceansiderec.com, or call 760-435-5041. We're not having Art Walk this Friday. Now they're going to be quarterly, so the next one's going to be March 3rd through 4th. It's also going to change in terms of format. It's going to be 2 days. So for spring, it'll be March 3rd through 4th. Then there'll be summer, autumn, and winter. And we've got notice that the Sunset Market will unfortunately not be open tomorrow evening. There's a forecast of rain, so the next Sunset Market will be the following Thursday. And just a heads up that Visit Oceanside is planning some really fun activities for Valentine's Day. It's going to be a whole, February 2nd to the 14th, so 12 days 12 days of Valentine's, 12 days Christmas, whatever. Look for that to have more information. Oceanside's going to be really, really fun. And that's it. Thank you.
City Attorney?
Okay, I guess we could jump ahead to 23 and 24. Item 23 is the adoption of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Oceanside repealing Articles 14.4, 35, and 36 of the 1986 zoning ordinance, amending Articles 15, 16, and adding Articles 20 to the 1992 zoning ordinance, and establishing the amended text and Municipal Code Chapter 30A as part of the implementation plan of the local coastal program.
Move adoption.
No public.
Second.
Please vote.
Motion approved, 4-0.
Thank you. Item 24 is the adoption of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Oceanside amending Chapter 2, Article 4 of the Oceanside City Code, modifying the duties of the Office of City Treasurer.
Move adoption.
Second.
No public.
Please vote.
Motion approved, 4-0.
You want to do yours? Yes.
Okay. I'll do item 19, the closed session report. City Council did meet earlier this afternoon in closed session to discuss item 1 on the agenda, a conference with labor negotiator on the status of negotiations involving the Oceanside Police Officers Association. The council did meet and give direction on that item. There's no action under the Brown Act to report at this time.
That concludes. We could, yeah. We can do public comment now,
Sure.
and we can do another one later if there are more people.
If the city attorney approves that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, at this time, we have 3 speakers. First, we have Amber Newman, then we have Abraham S. Levin, and then Erica Leary.
What about all these kids?
There with Erica.
Erica Leary is here. to
Erica's
speak.
got them all. It's like her, what, a fan club?
Who
Cheering
couldn't use a
section?
fan club?
Did you bring one?
Not tonight. A little short notice for some of our people, but
Okay.
it's
Thank
still
you.
early in the year. Anyway, my name is Amber Newman. As you are by now aware, we are planning to submit an initiative to the city that will lift a ban on medical marijuana and allow for commercial cannabis activity within the city. It may interest you to know that nearly 10,000 Oceanside voters, more than 10,000 more Oceanside voters supported Prop 64 than opposed it. While we believe that shows great voter support for cannabis in general, we want to make it clear that our initiative focuses on medical use only and not recreational at this time. I'm here tonight to give you a brief overview of our initiative while we wait for our attorney to finish kind of cleaning it up and, making it ready for public purview. First and foremost, our initiative establishes sensible regulations for the cultivation, the manufacturing, lab testing, and sale of medical marijuana that will allow Oceanside to be self-sufficient when it comes to the care of its ailing citizens. Our initiative keeps our kids safe by moving medical marijuana sales off of the streets and into licensed, regulated, and inspected facilities that will be required to obtain proof of age via state ID before allowing the purchase of any medical marijuana product. Our initiative also protects our environments with strict zoning rules and protective buffers of up to 1,000 feet from sensitive areas such as schools, beaches, and parks. Our initiative prevents the over-proliferation of retail outlets by limiting them to no more than 1 for every 15,000 residents. Our initiative addresses crime concerns by requiring all medical marijuana businesses to adhere to strict security protocols, including alarms, on-site guards, safes being secured to the buildings, and camera systems with 24/7 monitoring. Our initiative also provides for routine inspections to ensure compliance. Our initiative provides several revenue streams for the city. All medical marijuana businesses will pay an annual minimum tax of $1,000. All cultivation facilities will pay $10 per square foot of canopy space. Based on the license types that have been created by the MMRSA, that could bring the city up to $220,000 annually per site. Dispensaries will pay 6% of annual gross sales. Now, to put that into some perspective, we know that just one unlicensed dispensary can gross upwards of $5 million per year. That would put a minimum of $300,000 into city coffers per location. Those numbers could easily be bolstered by patients who come in from other parts of the region to access lab-tested medications as well. And where else might those patients shop while they're in Oceanside? The opportunities provided by medical marijuana are not necessarily limited to medical marijuana. On top of the locally generated revenue, allowing cannabis activity gives the city an opportunity to access grants and incentives through Prop 64.
Can you wrap it up?
I can. Just real quick, bear with me. We encourage you to consider the employment opportunities this would create, all the empty commercial spaces that would be made vibrant again, and the special programs and vital services that could be funded. Obviously, there's more to come, but we want our initiative to cover everybody's concerns, everybody's needs. So if you have any questions, if you want to talk about this in greater detail, please just contact us. We would love to talk to you.
Great. Thank you.
Abraham S. Levine.
Do we allow hats? I have to ask the attorney if we allow hats. Okay.
Good evening, council members. It's great to be here. I've never been here before. The first council of the year, 2017. What a wonderful council chambers. What a beautiful city hall. As I was coming in, I was just thinking to myself, what a great place in America. And what I'd like to talk about with you is this year, economic activity and freedom in America, following much what the last speaker had to say in terms of offering more opportunity for the citizens of Oceanside to capitalize on our dreams, to capitalize on our potential here in Oceanside to do business, to live in a free society, to celebrate such beautiful things like this city council chambers and our freedom to come here. I forgot to introduce myself, but my name is Abraham Levin. I've lived in Oceanside now for 4 years, and I love living here. It's a great place to live. And to come to these city council chambers is a real opportunity. And what I really want to speak about specifically now is to try and introduce an idea that we should have more opportunity for the small business vendor in our city, more opportunity to cultivate the arts on a very basic level in our streets. Right now, there's no opportunity to do any street vending aside from the Sunset Market. And as we heard earlier, Sunset Market has been canceled for tomorrow. And it's really a small window of opportunity for sort of vendors. And there is no license or area to create that incentive on a very minimum sale. On a very minimum scale is what I meant to say. Maximum sale. Really maximum profits. The opportunity for people to sell hot dogs from a small hot dog cart, art from a limited area, ice creams from a portable ice cream truck, a million different things. The entrepreneurial spirit of America. And here in Oceanside, sadly to say, it's a little stifled these days. And this is the land of the free, the home of the brave. And this is one of the most magnificent cities in Western America, on the coast, in the Southwest. A fantastic pier out into our Pacific Ocean. We have opportunities to cultivate all kinds of businesses. Let's open up. Let's give those chances to us, to the citizens of Oceanside, to the citizens of America, to the youth of tomorrow, to grow a business on a basic minimum level, outside and in addition to the Sunset Market opportunity and other opportunities. Let's make there be a small-scale business license, a peddler's license, whatever you would like to call it, an opportunity, a freedom. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies, for your time here, for doing your great job as a citizen and a council member for our city. I appreciate my right to speak, and I hope you have a wonderful new year. God bless you. Good health.
Thank you.
Eric Leary.
Any of these new guys want to speak? You can ask them after she's through. That's fine.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Erica Leary. I'm the program manager for the North Coastal Prevention Coalition, and we became aware of the effort to change Oceanside's position on marijuana dispensaries, and just wanted to reiterate our approval and support of your previous actions back in January and March of 2016 that prohibited the commercial cultivation and marijuana dispensaries. As you know, our mission is to reduce the harm of alcohol, tobacco, marijuana, and other drugs in the cities of Carlsbad, Oceanside, and Vista through community action, education, support, and collaboration. And we also know that greater access and availability of drugs leads to greater use and greater problems. That's why tobacco, alcohol, and prescription drugs cause more deaths than all illicit drugs combined. Marijuana proponents claim that regulating and taxing marijuana will provide safe access and eliminate the black market. Unfortunately, that's not been the case in places like Colorado, Washington, or even in San Diego, where illegal dispensaries and the black market continue to flourish. California law now already allows patients, caregivers, and now anyone 21 and over to grow, possess, share, and transport up to an ounce of marijuana. And storefront dispensaries are really all about making money, and will likely subject youth in our communities to advertising like these billboards in the city of San Diego. I have with me a group of, upside down. Youth Coalition members from Oceanside and El Camino High Schools that found out about this issue just yesterday and are taking time out of their vacation to come be here this evening, and then turn over the rest of my time to Gabriel.
Hello, my name is Gabriel. I'm from Oceanside High School. I'm a member from the Be the Resistance, or BTR. And when I heard about this, about dispensaries of marijuana, I thought it was like a shocking thing, because I've been told that marijuana was bad and that we shouldn't be doing this since I was a small kid, and hearing this, that they're now legalizing this, kind of gets me confused, and I feel like it's getting other people confused, like my age, other kids my age, other teenagers my age, confused. And when they find out that this is considered normal, they're going to want to keep doing this, and then nobody's going to stop them, and they might not know the consequences for having marijuana in your system. And yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. No further public on this item.
Okay. Well,
Would you like to look at item number 22?
yes, definitely. Thank you. Item number 22.
Yes, item number 22 is a request by Councilmember Kern to provide a presentation on the Dr. Martin.
Oh, we're going to do it at 6. The people aren't here yet.
All right. Sure.
And Eric is back for seconds.
Perfect.
That's it.
That's it, yeah.
Okay. So we're going to adjourn until 6 o'clock, and we will be here right on the dot. So please return. Thank you. To lead us through a couple of items, my aide.
Great. If I could ask everyone to please stand for tonight's invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. Our invocation tonight will be delivered by City Clerk Zach Beck.
Please join me in bowing our heads. Father, we come before you to say thank you. Thank you for the privilege, the blessing, the honor it is to reside here in the city of Oceanside. We come together tonight as a diverse community, a community of different backgrounds, different beliefs, different presence, and different futures, yet one common goal, and that is the betterment of the city. We come together tonight to seek your guidance, wisdom, and discernment during the deliberations that transpire this evening, and in doing so, we lift up Councilmember Feller, Councilmember Sanchez, Councilmember Kern, and Deputy Mayor Lowry. May you grant them wisdom and discernment as they deliberate what is best for the city of Oceanside moving forward from here. And in this season of a new year, we pray that it's a blessed and bountiful one for all of the residents of this great city as well as this great country. We say all these things in your precious name. Amen.
Tonight's Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Rachel Lorson, daughter of Assistant City Manager Deanna Lorson.
hands over your hearts. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
And up next, we have a presentation from Councilmember Jerry Kern.
Right, thank you. A couple of years ago, the council actually designated a section of Mesa Drive as the Dr. Martin Luther King corridor because of all of the artwork that we had there that was actually inspired by Dr. King. So, but people drove down there and didn't really understand what it was. So I, along with Reg Owens and Gerald Hampton, decided to actually do a sign to show people where it's at. So at this time, I'd like Gerald and Reg to come on up and to tell us about what we're going to do. You want to speak, or you want to speak the handheld? No, you're going to get in here so the camera can see.
Is that right?
You can't have the back of the camera. You got to get up here. You can stand behind it and say a few words about what brought this on and how we did it.
Oh, the camera. Okay. Good evening to all, council members, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, and distinguished guests, and those in the audience. I'm Reginald Orange, former member or resident of Oceanside, and lifetime member of North San Diego County NAACP. Way back in 1986, I retired from the Marine Corps and decided to make my home in Oceanside. It was a far better choice than going back to Buffalo, New York. Hot and cold versus cold and colder. Just no contest. With 30 years behind me as a career Marine, I felt compelled and duty-bound to give back to the community. So I immediately became involved in service organizations, the NAACP, Kiwanis, the VFW, Lifeline, and the City of Oceanside. The city was seeking community members to serve on an ad hoc committee to make recommendations regarding a memorial to the late Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. My cup of tea, I volunteered. The committee met 5 times, and I emerged as a spokesperson for the committee and presented seven recommendations to the City Council in February 1989. 6 of the recommendations were adopted and implemented. They are still a very important part of the fabric which makes Oceanside a unique and much envied city in the state of California. Much of the solidarity of the city is played out at the beginning of each year, January, the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., and February, during Black History Month. The balance of the year is a plethora of culturally rich events that make Oceanside a destination for world travelers. Of those 6 recommendations, there have been a few embellishments. They are in the handouts you do have, which emphasizes the designation. And 1, the designation of a portion of Mesa Drive between Rancho Del Oro Drive and Ivy Ranch Road as the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. corridor. And 2, and this is where I come in at, and we see the parade sign, or rather the sign here. We can't parade it around it, but you do see the sign. There's a flip side. You may want to flip this around there, okay? That brings me to the council meeting tonight, and this is a copy of the road mark that we painted for. This is the road markers that we will have on Mesa Drive. And they identify the areas of Mesa Drive as the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. corridor. The markers were funded by private donations gathered by council members Jerry Kern, Gerald Hampton, and Reginald Orange. The installation and unveiling of the markers will be on January the 28th which will conclude our 2016 Dr. Martin Luther King project. Our primary goals for 2017 is, one, to conduct a campaign to obtain funding for long-term maintenance and to safeguard, designate the sculptures as public art. And two, to redesign the sculpture display and move them to the Martin Luther King Jr. Park after replacing and refurbishing. And that's what I have here tonight.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gerald Hampton, and I just wanted to briefly say it's been a pleasure to be a part of this project. In 2006, I'm a retired Marine, and I'd gotten involved with several community organizations, particularly the NAACP, and I've worked with Reg Owens here on this project, and it's been a pleasure to partner with him as well as the entire Oceanside City Council to bring this to fruition. As was mentioned with the project, once the corridor was designated, the challenge is driving down Mesa at probably 40, 45 miles an hour speed limit. You may not recognize the signs or the fact that you're actually in the corridor. So these signs represent a phase of the project that brings recognition and acknowledgement of the corridor to fruition. So once again, it's an extreme pleasure for me to have been part of this, and hopefully it will be something that all of the residents of Oceanside, as well as those who visit, will thoroughly enjoy.
Well, Acting Mayor, so I have noticed that the signs on Mesa have suffered, and this is a vast improvement over the ones that have no identity left on them. So I'm pleased to say that when I ride through there, it's usually about 12 miles an hour on a bicycle, so they're very easily seen. This will be much more easily seen at 40 or 45, whatever the actual speed limit is. So congratulations, and I hope they're up really soon.
One clarification, if you don't mind. This is one of two. One will be on the east side, and one will be in the west entrance. And the signs, the road signs, actually are sculptures. And so we have recommissioned, or will recommission, the artist Roberto Salas to join with us, and we'll get those refurbished, those ones which are out there, and hopefully we'll relocate them to a place where they won't suffer as much damage as they have in the past.
Just on a timeline thing, on the prayer breakfast, which is the 16th at Maricosta College, we will present this sign again, and then after that, our Public Works Department is going to install them. And like Reg said, there's going to be one eastbound and one westbound on Mesa Drive. And on the 28th, we'll do the unveiling on the road. So please, if you can attend the breakfast, and then also on the 28th, we'll send out announcements to actually unveil them on the side of the road. And then, like I said, next year, our big project is to maybe move all of those within Martin Luther King Park so that they don't get run down by cars, because we've lost a couple of them to cars over a period of time. So I think we need to move them to a safer location, and actually so people can see them while they're walking. But anyway, well, thank you all, and we'll do a couple of photo ops here, and then we'll move on with the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Up next, we have Pet of the Month, and
Pet of the Month.
I'd like to introduce Elkie Wills from the Humane Society, bringing us Monty.
Monty. All I hear is my voice. He's a cute little dog. Got a lot of drool, yeah.
You're welcome. So this is Monty. He's about 5 years old, and he came to us as a stray because he likes to jump out of his yard. So we saw him about 6 times, I think, before the owner finally got tired of spending a lot of money to get him back. So he is an athletic dog. He's a really sweet. He just fell asleep over here. His manners are impeccable. He sits, he lies down. His adoption fee is $95. He does actually, to our very, very big happiness, he has a hold on him. Just happened between the time that I decided to bring him and this evening. What a hold means is that a family is interested in meeting him and they have another dog at home, so they're going to bring that dog into the shelter to meet him to see how they get along. So hopefully we'll all cross our fingers, but if anyone knows of anyone, he is a couch potato. Like I said, he just fell asleep over here in the short period of time that we were here. However, he does need his exercise. And I think a home with a lot of activity going on so he doesn't feel the need to escape and go find other activities would be good for him. Wanted to also let you know that our training classes are starting. Level 1, which is Marvelous Manners. We have a class starting on the 11th, which is a midweek class, and that starts at 6:30. And then we have another session starting on a Saturday, which those classes are at 11:30. They're 6 weeks long, and they're $110. But a great way to start off the new year right, get some training going, and then you can go level 1, level 2, level 3, and then we have a lot of fun other activities going on. And also January is the time to sign up to volunteer if you are interested. Every other month we start recruiting, and so it'll be January and then March. So if anyone's interested in volunteering, now is the time to do that on our website. Let's see if we can get Monty to do a little something. Good boy. Can you crawl? Can you crawl? Good boy. Very nice dog. So we will all cross our fingers tonight, and hopefully he has a new home tomorrow. So thank you all so much.
Vámonos, Marky. We'll work for food.
Next, we have Kathy Nykel.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Kathy Nykel. I'm from Main Street, Oceanside. Thank you for having me again tonight. We have a few things going on at the market. So tomorrow the day market will be open, but the sunset market will be closed, and the weather does not look favorable anyways. So we hope to see you at the day market from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Our farmers will be there. Lots of great food, honey, probably one of the best honey vendors that we have in the county. So please come down to the market 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have several events coming up at the Sunset Market itself. On the 19th of January, we have our Authors Night. This is an annual event. We usually have between 7 and 15 authors there. We are looking for more authors, so if you are interested, please contact me at the Main Street office. The authors are from all sorts of different genres of writing, so we hope that you'll come down and visit with them. Again, that's January 19th from 5 to 8 that they will be there. And then February 2nd kicks off Oceanside Valentine's Week. We bring the heart down to the Sunset Market. It will be held in conjunction with our annual Public Safety Night. For Public Safety Night, we have our Oceanside Police Department, Fire Department, and the lifeguards will be there with a full static display, lots of great information concerning safety both at work, at home, and while you're having fun in Oceanside. We have the fire trucks that come in, the nice little skidoo from the lifeguards, and then the police department, they bring down all sorts of equipment. So we also have...
Was disappointing. I would walk my dog with the helmet.
They can't miss you.
Yeah, it was, so it's a safety rule I have. Yeah. So I'll check. I should just give you a call and ask you.
Anytime, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
No further items on the agenda.
That's it. public comment? Again, redo.
There's no other,
Want to ask?
no one has turned in a form to speak on that
Let's
item.
ask.
Did anyone want to speak on items off the agenda? I see none.
So we tentatively have a council workshop planned for April 26th at 2 p.m., and that will be to discuss everything that we know at that point about the medical marijuana and the recreational marijuana regulations. So everybody, please come to that. If you have questions, you can send us an email or call the city or send us a letter. This concludes our meeting. The next meeting is going to be pretty quick, 2 weeks.
January 11th, next Wednesday.
January 11th. Oh, that's a
Workshop.
We have a themed workshop. And what
City-
time will that be?
2 p.m. next Wednesday, January 11th, City Treasurer Workshop.
Oh, the City Treasurer Workshop. So that's where the applicants who have sent in their resumes and filled out their application will come in and we'll do the entire process here.
Correct.
So 2 p.m. next Wednesday.
2 p.m., yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
The budget, the workshop on the 26th is for the budget.
The budget workshop.
Actually, it is. 26th is the budget workshop.
Oh.
So we do want people to come. Come talk about the budget.
We would like please to.
I have a question. Would that be the next available time for public comment or introduction?
Oh, we don't know the date yet on either of those meetings. There's been some.
At the January 11th meeting,
Tentative,
yes.
yeah.
Next Wednesday at 2 p.m., you would have the opportunity to talk to the council on items not on the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you. All right.